Hi guys, today we'll look into a scenario in which Texas gains independence. It would be well off with a high economy of about, 2 point something trillion, I believe. And it would have a population of 27 million, which would damage the US. And the first thing Texas does is, Texas invades Cuba. They must be trying to checkmate America at its own game. No, they push in. And they quickly push down the coast. They build up their strength. And they prove their power. And they annex it. Because why wouldn't you annex Cuba? Well, America annexed it once. Well, now to continue in its expansionist path it took on. Well, it goes into a bunch of Caribbean islands, including the Bahamas. And now they start to build up their navy, so their navy can hold more territory and keep its islands safe. With this, this is what their naval dominance looks like. They want to have a better navy so they can connect more land by water. And so they'll do this when their navy gets strong. The United States is upset about this, but they do nothing. That's kind of common. They do nothing when they're trying to pretend to be the best nation ever. Well, they have a lot of their navy over here for some reason. Well, they start pushing some corridors. And with the corridors, they connect. And they get across the sea. Yeah, they push up towards the United States. And then they push down to the Cayman Islands. And just to secure these islands, they go up like that. Yeah. They push into here. Well, they start encircling islands. They're definitely not planning anything. No. They have a chance now of forming a formidable empire. Oceanic empire. Yeah, naval empire. Well, they succeed. Imagine being as strong as Texas now. Just imagine if you could just walk over a nation. Just imagine. Well, they do make their naval dominance go across. And this is the exact time they decide, yeah, Canada's claim over the Northern Strait is legitimate. Finally. Well, they're not going across to the other navy, and Nicaragua won't last long enough to even worry about that. Yeah. Now they're making their Caribbean empire. And then they establish this. And then they decide, yeah, Venezuela. They're very far. Yeah. And they push in. After this, well, they push down there. And well, Colombia in Venezuela teams up with basically all the Caribbean. To destroy the Texan threat. But little do they know, Texas knew about this alliance. And well, Texas sends an ultimatum to Venezuela, saying that, to Colombia, I mean, saying that if you give me these lands, I'll help you gain more lands than I'll take, which Colombia accepts. Well, they wanted more, but with an ultimatum, can't send as much territory as they would otherwise want. And well, Colombia turns their allegiance from America to Texas. Well, Venezuela is fully mobilized. And the first offensive as well, taking back this area by pushing Texas back. But Texas is smarter than this and is like, yeah, good job, Venezuela. Venezuela is all happy. And they're like, boom. They beat Venezuela at their own game. Oh, everything in the ocean is theirs, Texas believes. Yeah, and they push in to the Caribbean Sea. Like that. They take a big chunk out of it. Well, they don't take as much as the Netherlands would take. Well, they basically just go on an annexation campaign gone crazy in the Caribbean. Well, Brazil and Guyana joins. America's smart. Well, Texas is even smarter. Yeah, very smart. Invading a mountainous jungle. Well, it's easy. Because unlike Vietnam, they're fighting along your side. Well, an amphibious landing succeeds in many coasts of Venezuela. Well, they liberate capybaras because they can. And yeah, they push through. And they do this. Caracas is taken, the capital, and then they continue. Venezuela is dead. Yeah, dead Venezuela. That's great. Well, they definitely care about a fair treaty, they say. Yep, this is a perfectly fair treaty. Not to be confused with a partition. Definitely not a partition. Definitely a liberation of the country. Definitely. They're doing nothing but liberating the country. I promise. They're just liberating the country, says Texas. Well, America falls for it. Well, Brazil is like, eats everything they can. They try to get an alliance with Brazil, but Brazil says, well, we want to stay neutral in your Cold War with the United States thing. And they're like, okay, your wish. And then, well, Colombia becomes their green ally because they decide, yeah, you're green. They're not green, just to let you know. More like, oh, Colombia is definitely white. If we want to keep on America's good side, we better be careful with who we invade, says Brazil. Says Texas, because they're Texan. They allow access to the coast for only American allies, which include, well, American allies. Well, Mexico and allies decide they're justified in declaring war on Texas. But little do they know, Texas was planning for this. Oh, the Texan Navy dominates. Because through Colombia, they move ships through. And then they push up. And they take this point. And then they kind of push up. After Mexico has declared war. Well, the only thing is that the first thing to happen is just this. With an order to that everybody needs to be mobilized. Yeah, every reserve gets mobilized by Mexico. Well, unfortunately for Mexico, well, they had all their forces at the north, thinking that if they take Texas out, they'll win, which was a big mistake, because, well, Texas lets them take their land. You may think that's a bad strategy, but if you let their troops go into this area, hold them off before getting to your capital, is Texas's strategy. But if you do this, well, it leaves them open in this area. And I'm pretty sure Texans would never surrender. Just guessing. Well, America is preparing for an all-out war with Texas. Well, Mexico is stalemated, so they start thinking, maybe we should go to the south. But it's kind of too late, because Texas is like having a rampage in the south. Well, they're like, maybe we can... And they make naval landings everywhere, because, well, they're Texans. And they're like, how are we going to invade this Afghanistan? Question mark. Question mark. Yep. Texas is like, sends in all of its mountain people, and then they run in. They train them in the Rocky Mountains. And Texas is a fair country, definitely. They claim this is not an annexation, but an annexation is always an annexation. You know it's an annexation. They're just lying. Well, America sends around the sanctions on them, and they're like, what did you just do? To which the U.S. responds, what do you mean? I know what you did. America, very weak. And then California, it's like, yeah, no. We're going to declare independence. We don't agree with sanctioning your former areas that declare independence. I was once independent in California. And they decide, why don't we just do it like that? Our independence. Sure, Texas, can you help me? And Texas is like, sure, to their biggest rival. But who cares? That's all irrelevant. Their biggest enemy, they have a common enemy now. The United States. In their war against independence, they claim it is. Well, you could believe there probably is a war against independence. No, Transnistria, you're not independent. Nope. Well, they fully mobilized their navy, along with their allies' navies. But who would think Texas would be ready for a war with America? Nobody. But America is crippling after losing California. Well, the first thing to happen is very major of a setback. Yeah, definitely that major. Hey, nobody occupied that. And well, they take Puerto Rico because they can. And why isn't Puerto Rico colored in? Because they decide, no, we're not part of the U.S. And Texas is mad because they don't get annexed. And while they push up to the American Navy is completely destroyed, but they're still pushing up to get rid of it. And then basically all of this Navy collapses. And since California was greedy and took all the Navy with them, well, what do you think America's Pacific Navy does? Well, nothing. And California is like, okay, you can have that. Says Canada. Canada says, you can land your ships in my land. Which America's like, Canada? And then, well, Canada says, what? Why are there forces in your territory, enemy forces? To which Canada's like, I don't know what you mean. As they march in from the Canadian Pacific area. Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about. Well, the forces, or no Canadian forces are entering because they're too nice. Well, the next state to die is coming. And well, with this, they make a landing in Florida. And they take Florida, because Florida's like, yeah. Well, they take the most important city, Louisiana. And from there, they go, woo, 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 something like that. And then they take a huge advance. And then for some reason, Canadian forces enter Alaska. They call this a special military operation. What, Canada? That's why they're not colored red. It's only a special military operation. And all they do is just give their prisoners of war a bunch of maple syrup. And I would know, because that's what we do to our prisoners of war. Yeah, definitely. That's what Canadians do. Well, then again, and then Canada's like, okay, Churchill polar bears, we have a job for you. To which the polar bears run rampage over the north, taking New England. And then these polar bears meet up with Texas. Texas is scared because they're polar bears who won't take orders from anyone but Canadians. Well, America is completely out of their mind and shock with this. And then everybody's like, let's go to the Treaty of Ottawa, which is a very fair treaty for some people, not for others. But, all treaties are fair for someone. And Canada finally gets their lands they claimed here. They get lands, but I think Canada should have, yeah. Oh, yeah. And because they use polar bears, well, they get that. Texas decides, yeah, let's take away their coast. And yeah, this looks like the Treaty of Trianon, but for America. And that's the United States. Hey, they didn't kill some people. Maybe they're picking favorites. To which they're like, we can't make advances, but we can't get invaded, can we? Well, to which Panama's like, what? No. And Costa Rica's like, bleh. Well, they have no military. What do you expect? No, Canada says to Texas and California, your navies can stay in my soil. Yes, why shouldn't they keep their navies? Who has naval dominance? Texas. Who doesn't? Oh, Canada. What? Is this some kind of propaganda poster of Canada? Maybe. Who knows? No, that's not a propaganda poster. A propaganda poster of Canada would say, join the war. What war? Oh, yeah. Polar bears, go to war. Polar bears, what did we say? Go to war. Well, why didn't Canada join the war officially? Well, America is now a Canadian puppet. Because without Canada, well, you know who would have lost? Well, everyone. Yes, well, the winner were the polar bears. And since polar bears are awesome, well, they just say yes to everything that Canada ever dreams of, and now Canada's challenging the Russia. What? Says Russia? Nothing. You know who's stronger than Russia? Canada. You know who's stronger than Canada? Ukraine. You know who's stronger than Ukraine? Mongolia. You know who's stronger than Mongolia? And thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. Sorry for whipping the United States around and making Colombia become a Texan ally. Not giving Texas this land. Wait. What? Okay. I didn't give... And then the partition of Africa 2.0 happens. Where Texas takes those. Well, it's Texas, California, Colombia. Oh, Colombia takes, well, this. Well, they take Egypt because they want the Suez Canal. And they also get Algeria. They also get South Africa and some territories. Except Ethiopia gets to keep its independence again. Well, these borders make a lot of sense. It's just partition. Well, Texas decides, yeah, we're ready to go full colonialism. Decides to take, like, basically everything. Up to Libya and Tunisia. They take what they gave Leopold. They should have gave Leopold a piece of land. Yeah, the most vicious person ever. Well, Canada is the last invited because, well, they're weak. Or California, but Colombia is controlled by Texas. Well, now, what color should we give California? None other than the chill color. Yeah, we're partitioning Africa. Yep. Well, I mean, sorry about it. Well, they take this. Canada's basically left with scraps. Oh yeah, we may be making this video extra long. And then, well, the rest goes to Canada, who we're not coloring in, because, well, we don't have to. And Canada got pretty good lands. Yeah, and they definitely look purple. Oh, California is somehow occupying their lands. Oh, Canada does like its lands. Yep. And thank you for viewing. I hope you enjoyed. Please like and subscribe. And we are trying to get to 50 subscribers, so click your subscribe button and press subscribe so you can get there quicker. And thanks for viewing. Wild Mapper out.